And these accommodations existed previous to the passing of the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, which I'll talk about in a moment. But these accommodations existed under the ADA. We tend to think of the ADA as like the wheelchair law, right? Like that makes companies put in wheelchair ramps, but it is much broader than that. And also applies in the workplace. And it also covers any accommodation needs that we may have for time off, for nausea, for exhaustion that can come up during the fertility treatment period. So if you are really uncomfortable and you feel bloated, or you have a ton of appointments that are back to back, when they start checking the ovaries and follicles, and it's like almost everyday appointments, and you have all of these injections, you don't have to suffer through that. You don't have to go do that in the office bathroom. You can ask to work remotely. You can ask for flexibility. You can be honest about what's going on. And a lot of women are nervous about telling their employers they're doing fertility treatments, because it's almost like a commitment that there will be a pregnancy, right? It's like a promise of a future pregnancy.
Right.
But I want women to remember that it can actually be riskier not to be honest about it. And the reason for that is if you are struggling physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and that is reflecting in your work product, or the way you're showing up at work, and you're missing work, you're really actually putting your job at risk even more. Now, if your employer knows that you are going through this and you requested accommodations or support, you're in a protected class. And that means that if something shady happens to you, at least you have recourse. At least there's something that you can do about it. And we want to remember that our jobs are kind of always at risk. Like there's always mass layoffs happening. So I think in service of your own body, it's essential, and your future baby, it's essential that you ask for the support that you need during the most vulnerable time of your life. It has your back. It allows for it. So we better use it. So this used to be under the ADA. Now these rights are protected under the Pregnant Workers Fairness Act. I know this sounds confusing because it's Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, but it also includes anything related to pregnancy, to include fertility. So this law is a little bit more generous, a little bit broader. And it is essentially an expansion of the ADA that allows us to, again, ask for time off, for flexibility, for remote work, for more breaks, to be excused from a work trip, just anything that you may need that would allow your journey to be easier.